Hey, good morning, guys, and welcome to today's market profile analysis. Today is the 31st of January, and one of the things which Bank Nifty is doing at. So let me just quickly share my other screen, and we'll quickly jump and analyze what's happening. Okay, so first of all is today I would say this entire week do not just trade. Now the reason why I'm saying and do not just trade is if you look at the the IV, because if you're an option buyer, you are gonna get chopped off. So if I just select Bank Nifty and you just look at the IV levels here, it's I don't know why it's showing 49, 40, 30, but actually this is about 67, and this particular IV is about 70. Okay, with such high IVs, generally what I used to do is I used to create all this is it strangle or is it straddle, but basically I used to sell out of the money options, keep it 1,000 point range, because 1,000 point is the volatility. Even keep 2,000 point range, so if you see here 175 points is pretty decent enough from the intraday perspective, because you can capture about 25 to 50%. Here you can capture about 15 to 30% premium, if you just have your straddle positions. Is it straddle or is it strangle? So sorry for those terminologies. But consider 50 points from here, 50 points from here, additional 100 points from here, additional 100 points from here. So what more do you need? That's like 300 points from intraday, doing nothing, just right at the open, creating this all the short positions. And the reason primarily is because of the high ID. Okay. So avoid to take any trades. Second thing is I just shared it. So if you're not on the community, just I shared an order flow chart, but see the overall fight happening between the buyers and sellers. There are unfinished auctions, there are buyers, there are sellers, again buyer seller fighting in this overall range. So during such days, it's better to just avoid and just observe how the overall price action and how the overall auction is developing. Now today we had a pre-open above 4,500. So this is the 4,500 level, and we have got open equal to high. Let me just zoom in a bit to uh, give you more context and to give you more numbers. But overall, supply is pretty strong. We have got open equal to high, here. It opened, and immediately around 4,600 levels is where the supply is coming in, and immediately my focus shifted to 4,500. And this is the level of equilibrium where earlier, while the market opened, both buyers and sellers were equivalent in terms of the OI change. But here the call options, or the call writers, are more active compared to the put writers. Okay, so overall what I'm seeing is the value is developing, overall value is developing below the 40,500 level. So for me, this is an immediate resistance. And I'm expecting to have a sort of a retest and see the behavior, whether we are getting this type of behavior or whether we are getting accepted, and then we can have a breakout, because there are stops at this level, stops at this level. So those guys, or the traders or the algos who are currently shorting, these are the areas where they will have their buy stops, and we can have a massive short covering rally. And the next area where we might see some selling activity coming in is at 41,000 levels. Okay, but we are just chopping in a range. So 4,200 is also a level where where we need to observe. And the reason why 4,200 is that's where the supply shut off. So let me just see if I can unsplit this. All. Okay. So if you see here, let me just expand this further. Yeah. So you have to understand what's the overall structure telling you. Okay. So why 4200 was an important level? Now I'll go to this chart, but just ignore looking at this chart. Just focus on, this particular chart. Okay. So 4200 is the area where, there were stops. So if you see the E period high, this is the level at 4200. Yesterday, if you study just yesterday's auction, and if you want to understand the overall inventory, yesterday's overall inventory was flat. The reason why it was flat is uh, it was around the close of yesterday. So this was the close of yesterday, and I believe this was the close of, sorry, day before yesterday. So this was for today's Tuesday, right? So this was for Friday. This is for Monday, which is yesterday. And if you look at the close, so I'll generally use close to understand the overall context in terms of the inventories. So let me just maximize this, and if I'm able to get the close price. Okay, I'm not able to get it, but just hold on. If I will just zoom out and get to the block view, and this is where the close was for yesterday. Okay. And it was around the 4,500 levels where again, the price, or, I was looking for some supply, and it came in. Okay. So now why? Okay. So you got the logic of, 4,200, because that's where, the last area where, supply came in. Okay. And, if you know classic support and resistance rule, resistance, if it's clear, it turns into support. Now, not the rule, but, this is just a simple logic. So this was the area of, last resistance, which got cleared in the L period. And I was looking for a retracement. So that's why, 4,200 was the level where, from price action perspective, this is acting as the immediate support, and, 4,500 is acting as the immediate resistance. Okay. Now I am, correlating my analysis with the overall inventory analysis. So what do I mean by that? Okay. So let me just, hide this data. So what I generally do, before the market opens, is to identify, where the buyers and sellers are trapped. Okay. So that's what, I was looking at. So this is the area where, the buyers who build their positions, below it is where, the sellers were trapped. So if the sellers are trapped, I was expecting a sort of a bounce back. So my immediate focus was on 4,200 levels. And that's where, the overall, so I'll unhide this, and, now you will be able to start to see. So, there was some front running happening, and, see at the moment, it is acting as the level of support. Okay. So that's how, you have to combine, and, you have to look at, how the overall, price and everything is getting developed. Okay. So I hope you are understanding, the overall logic behind, why am I seeing no continuation to the price going down. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. So this is currently the level of support, which is happening. And what is happening is we are just chopping in a range of between 4,500 and 4,200. Yeah. So we're just chopping in this 300 point range, just so there are currently stops above this level. There are stops below this level. And currently there is a half back here. So there is a half back here, and we might be able to take this particular level. So let me just refresh this, and let me just delete all this. And if I look at just study the overall OI data, so 41,000. Okay, what's happened here? 41. Some issue with my pen. Is it working with the yellow? Okay. So I'm not able to trace it, but the overall idea is, 41,000 level is where, the supply. Okay, sorry, I figured it out. So, okay, 41,000 is where, seller positions are there. 4,600 is where we saw look above and fail, and we are currently developing lower. And as we were talking, 4400 is the level where immediately supply has come in. So if you see, there is a massive rejection candle at 4400, and we are just now trading in again a 200 point range of 4400 and 4200. So pretty choppy day, and a day where a lot of premium erosion is happening. I don't know why NSE is not giving us the data for the right IV. So I'll share my other screen, and I also look at this data. So this is OI Pulse, a very good tool if you want to understand the OI analysis. But if you see here, the IV levels, so it's 70 from the call side, 60 on the put side. So overall, not a good day, for the overall option buyers. Yeah. Plus, you look at the premiums, so ITM and OTM. So OTMs are good, but look at the premiums in the overall ITM. So not a good sign. Not a good day. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the overall price action. And second thing, is what I'm looking at is the overall sentiment. So this is fine. This is nothing but trending OI, but for me, the sentiment is very much important, and this gives me an idea of the overall inventory levels. So right now, the inventory or the overall inventory is getting built. Supply is pretty strong, and we are seeing some sort of price acceptance or price stability in a range of 9 lakh to 12 lakh. Okay, so it is just chopping around. So it means that premium erosion are going to be happening further. We might see some spike up or spike down, and if you look at even at the 3-minute chart, the candles, what we are being seeing is also pretty. It's also pretty vast. So what I mean by that is, I'll just zoom in here. And you see each of this candle, just see the high and low, 4600, 4400. So this is a 200-point candle. So where are you going to manage your stop loss? Where are you going to keep your stop loss? So the risk to reward ratio is not good, unless and until if you are an option seller. So a day to just avoid, sit back, relax. Currently, we are supply shutting off at 4200 levels, and we are just chopping and around 4400 levels. So currently there are inventory, sell inventory, build sellers who have built their positions, and we also have buyers. So let buyers and sellers fight, because there is a correlation, and the equal positions are being created. Okay, so we just crossed the stops here. We reached the half back level, and I'm expecting some supply to come in. If there is no supply coming in, then we might see some further continuation to the upside. So that's the overall move which you have to observe. Okay, so I hope today's day was good for you in terms of understanding the overall context and what I'm currently looking at. And yeah, so let me know in your comment sections below, and yeah, feel free to like and share this video and subscribe if you're new to this channel. And I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the most important day for us, budget day, and expect a sideways dull boring movement till 11. We might hitting the stops, and I'm seeing whether the gap which created on Friday is getting filled or not. Okay, so thank you again, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.